crazy wildfires to a pandemic that nobody will ever forget to police brutality, 2020 has been a crazy year so far, as I think everybody can agree. Cursed, crazy, one thing after another, those are some ways that people have explained it so far. This year has honestly brought out the worst in people. Over the next few minutes, I will be talking about something that should not have happened, but because it happened, and the ways people handled it by not giving up on justice for this man, has brought attention to police brutality for the better. The death of George Floyd is one thing that happened this year that will change the world forever. Police brutality has always been an issue, but this one specific death that should not have happened caused riots, protests, and people fighting for justice for this man. George Floyd was not resisting arrest, nor was he hostile or violent in any way towards the officers. A store employee called 911 on Floyd because he bought cigarettes with a fake $20 bill. Being a new employee, he was not aware that George Floyd was a regular customer and he was just following protocol. According to BBC News, the first officer that arrived on scene, Thomas Lane, approached Floyd's car, drew a gun, and ordered him to show his hands. It is still not clear why Mr. Lane felt he had to draw his gun to begin with. So Lane started the arrest in an already hostile and uncomfortable environment, and then it started to escalate. A struggle started to pursue once the officers tried to put Floyd in a squad car. Floyd fell to the ground, claiming he was claustrophobic. While he was on the floor is whenever Mr. Chauvin put his knee between his neck and his head and held it there for 7 minutes and 46 seconds, killing Mr. Floyd. The officers mocked him, told him to stop talking, and as he was telling them and pleading that he could not breathe. Derek Chauvin did not release pressure off of his neck. Floyd said things such as, "You're going to kill me, please, 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 and I can't breathe," but the officers didn't listen. The only acknowledgement he got while he was on the ground getting murdered is his murder telling him, "Then stop talking, stop yelling. It takes a heck of a lot of oxygen to talk." Officer Quang was convinced to check Floyd's pulse, and even after saying he could not find one, his partner did not get off Mr. Floyd. After Floyd passed away, people believed the officers did not get enough punishment for murder. They started protests. And protests started off as peaceful, but then police as well as some people started to make it violent. This turned protests into riots. According to New York Times, there were protests in at least 140 cities, and the National Guard was sent to at least 21 states. Officers were firing rubber bullets and using tear gas to stop protests, even the peaceful ones. That's what made people want to start riots, destroy cities, and start to be violent. So a man got murdered by a police officer. Someone who's supposed to protect and serve killed a man that was pinned to the floor, unable to defend himself. George Floyd's death should have never happened. However, it has opened eyes to police brutality, and the fact that this happens more than we think is ridiculous. The man was killed over a fake $20 bill. Pinned to the floor, bleeding, "I can't breathe," while a police officer kneeled on his neck, killing him. It should have never happened. This left a woman without a husband and a baby without a father, as well as families and friends grieving his loss. George Floyd has a baby girl named Gianna, and there is a GoFundMe for her to have extra money for college, anything else she needs. So if you can, I'm sure every dollar is much appreciated. Thank you.